Smoking friends, what it is. Welcome to 3 a.m. somewhere. I am somewhere tired per usual. Why do I do it at night? I don't know. I'm a night owl. But as promised, last time I spoke, well, before the little random show, I said I would tell, I guess, part one of my psych ward story when I went to a psych ward. A little backstory. So if you're just now seeing this channel or seeing me or hearing my story, I tend to talk about, trauma, depression, things like that, just how I'm doing in life. And I do talk a little bit random a lot of times, and I talk with people from here and there. But the psych ward story, and this isn't like, I know I feel like my defense mechanism sometimes is I kind of just make crack jokes or laugh when things aren't really funny. So this isn't like a funny story, you know what I'm saying? And I don't plan to even try to make it funny, but just if I do, like I don't know, I get nervous, I guess. But anyway, so uh trying to think, this might have been 2 weeks after my daughter passed, maybe 3 weeks after my daughter passed. Um I wasn't seeing the end of the tunnel to see if I would ever get better. On Mondays I was going to a place called the Christie Center, and it was a grief group. It's free. It was Monday. I think they still have it here in Austin. But shout out to them. That it was really good. But it was free, and it was just a bunch of parents meeting, and you would just kind of have grief counseling, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I would attend that religiously, and they really enjoyed me there. They always told me that I was a good speaker. I spoke good, and they like hearing what I had to say, and that it sounds like I'm making progress. And so I thought, I was making progress, but there's just some of the nights where everything just kind of crashes down on you again, and you fall into a deep depression. I was suicidal, and then when I say suicidal, I want to say like I had the thoughts, I had the plan on how I would do it, what I would do, XYZ, And I remember, I believe I shared that with my mom, and I think she was like, "Yo, you probably should, go get checked out, go to the ER, you know what I mean? They'll see you, you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to make an appointment." And I remember when I was having that conversation with her on the phone, I was at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? I was drinking a little bit, eating, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, all right, after I leave this restaurant, I'm going to go to the ER. I go to the ER, and I feel weird about it because when you think about going to the ER for that reason, you would think that somebody's freaking out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like how I am right now. And so I go and I tell them like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of suicidal. I gave them the story on what happened. And then boom, right at that moment, they're like, all right, get your wristband, they take your vitals or whatever. And they put me in a room. This was a different room. I like I'm walking back there with the nurse or whatever, and there's a sheriff there, you know what I'm saying? And so in this little hall section, the sheriff is watching. And so she was like, yo, he's gonna be out here. If you need anything, you can like press the button, or like basically like don't try to leave or don't do nothing crazy because my man will shoot you. And so I'm like, all right, I go into the room. I sit on the bed. I lay on the bed. I lay back. I look up. The TV is on the ceiling. I never seen nothing like that. The first thing that came to my mind is, oh, they probably like if you going nuts, strap you down, have you looking up, and that's how you know what I'm saying, watch the TV. It was kind of wild to me, but a little bit amusing. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it because I was just kind of laying back, whatever. Doctor came in, you know, let me check whatever, how you doing, what's going on. So I say, hey, my daughter passed away, and we just, had the funeral and stuff, and I don't know how to feel. I don't even know how to be a person. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even want to live anymore. Like a sunny day would look grim to me. Everything just seems so gray. All right. Um, so what do you want to do to yourself, And so I was like, I at one point I was it was like a look like maybe this was probably a week after a funeral. I was at the crib and I was smoking and I had some Xanax and I was drinking Wild Turkey 101. Like that was my stuff. So I was doing that, and this I'm gonna save this story what I'm about to say into another part. That's not gonna be today. But this is what actually saved my life. As I'm doing that, it's pouring raining outside. Think I just lit the blunt. I took a Xanax, took a shot, might have been 2 shots. I hear bang, 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 bang. Usually me, I check and see, who's outside. I don't even check and see. I open the door. It's 2 officers and big ass white dudes. And Darian Wallace, yeah, what's up? Put your hands behind your back. And I'm talking about nigga strong arm me. Strong arm me. I'm in my pajamas. We're walking out in the rain. And I they take me to jail. All right. And so anyway, I'm not gonna go to jail. So I mean, jail wasn't bad, like when I went there and when the cops there, they were actually nice guys. Cause when they came in, they were like, yo, they came in the house and they're like, what are you doing in here? And it was kind of self-explanatory. And they were like, is everything good? And I told them what happened. And I kid you not. The nigga put my weed and whatever. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna just put this here for when you get back. I don't know what it is, but you have a warrant." And I was just like, "All right, cool." And they're like, "We're not even worrying about that. We're not even here for that." I was like, "Cool." And when I go to jail, then they're like, they talk to you. You got to talk to They already told them the situation. You know what I'm saying? So I had to talk to the nurse and stuff. So then they put me, instead of having me like in the bookings area, they put me in a padded cell. A padded cell. So at this time, they take me to the padded cell, uncuff me. I'm I'm zooted, you know what I'm saying? I'm drunk, I'm high. And so I go to the padded cell and it's literally like a if if the wall's like this, there's like a part that comes out that's kinda like a bench slash cot, but it's all padded, you know what I'm saying? So I go over there and sit. Sucky thing about it, it had this hole in the ground, and I'm pretty sure that's where I would pee, but whenever somebody flushed the toilet, that shit ran through there. So I'm smelling that, and, the guards had to check on me every 30 minutes. And so, I'm just sitting there, just like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just, I'm out of it, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not out of it, but I'm numb, if that makes sense. Guard comes in, checks on me like 3 times, and he comes back in again. And then in this section I'm at, you can hear people, whatever. And he's like, "Yo, are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Do you want to go to like out there with everybody else? Like, why are you in here? Like, you're calm. Are you gonna harm yourself?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm just chilling." So they put me out there. I met this dude. This nigga was wild. It was this older Hispanic dude. I don't even want to say what his charges were alleged, but that nigga's probably doing life. And I not even like any cool charges, like fucked up charges. But niggas telling their story and you let them tell it that they innocent. But I'm like, bruh, I don't know, man. I don't know, but anyway. So then when they're like when they send you back, I'm off on a tangent on this. I'm just telling it now. They send you back. Well, I'm gonna tell you how it saved my life. They send you back, and so I'm thinking, all right, I'm finna go to general population, whatever, whatever. No, no, no. You're on suicide watch, my friend. Okay. But the cool thing is even though I was on suicide watch, I was acting very normal. So they gave me a little bit more leeway. They took me to my cell and they let me come out as many times as I wanted to make phone calls and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they were pretty cool. So now I make my last phone call. I'm in my cell and I remember they dropped the lunch or whatever or dinner or whatever the food was. It was literally an apple and some peanut butter crackers and a weird looking bologna sandwich. I ate the peanut butter crackers. Now this cell is a single cell, and I don't know like how it is, but it was small, and I was walking back and forth, and the only thing I could think of was this is probably how animals feel in the zoo when the zoo closes and they're not in their exhibit, like they're probably just in some little small whatever, whatever. So now, thank God, it was like I got arrested probably like 11 o'clock in the morning. By this time, it's probably 9 o'clock. They call my name. I get to see the judge. I I go to the like when they bring me out, everybody's handcuffed, and I'm the only nigga that's handcuffed by himself. I go and see the judge. He said the charges, that'll be another story. It's not bad. It's not really what you think. But he I guess it's kind of bad if it's a warrant, but he says the charges, and then I don't know jail shit. I don't know what shit means. And then he says, um, get PR bond or some shit. And so we walk back and I asked the CEO, look at me. I'm in. I asked the CEO, what it was PR bond? He's like, oh, it's a personal bond. Like you'll be able to bond yourself out like tonight. And I was like, what? Bet. So they call me. I get to do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And but the funny thing was, if you know Travis County Jail is downtown. I get out of jail probably like 11 at night in my fucking pajamas. And the first thing I thought, I said, should I go out? But I didn't. I called my friend. My friend picked me up. Anyway, that happening to me. You see, I'm reeling it back. That happened to me saved my life because I was literally drinking, trying to like kill myself. You know what I'm saying? And that was a blessing in disguise. And when I got out, I thought about that. I was like, yo, that was a blessing. So anyway, the doctor's like, all right, there's a if I want to check myself in somewhere. And so I'm like, all right, yeah, I should try to get some help. Well, there's a place called Austin Lakes, and basically with what I'm going through, the city would pay for it. I'm like, all right, so I don't know how any of this goes. And like I feel like grief, suicide, all this stuff just comes in different forms because now I have to lay on the gurney and they have to lock my arms and then they have to proceed to wheel me out to the ambulance. I get in the ambulance. The guys are like pretty cool. And they're like, yo, like you just chilling. Yeah. So they're like, we can unlock you, but if you do get out of line, you're gonna go down. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So they undo me, whatever. And we're just talking. And they're like, bro, you're like one of the very first people that we're taking here that is just chilling. Like you're just like willing to go. And at this point, I know they probably know what the situation is, but I'm tired of like saying, what is going on. So I'm just like, yeah, it's a long night, And now at this point, when I get there, it's like midnight. So I get there, I got to fill paperwork. I can't even see inside because they had these automatic doors that open. So I do my paperwork and I see a doctor, and the doctor is like, "How you feeling? Are you having trouble sleeping?" Yes, I'm having trouble sleeping. Till this day, I still have trouble sleeping, and I've been prescribed like trazodone, all types of stuff. So the doctor gives me, I forget what it's called. I gotta look it up, but give me the medicine, and they give me a sandwich and some apple juice, and they're like, "Yo, you can eat out in the cafeteria, but we have a room for you. We're gonna put you in another room tomorrow because there's somebody leaving, but you're gonna have to go in this room tonight." Okay. I go into the room. You can see it's like kind of split off, like it's roommate type situation. And I see like a dude sleep, and the doctor's like, "I just want to let you know this guy is fine, but he's just having like a lot of withdrawals." Okay, I ain't never really been around somebody who had withdrawals that they're in something like that. And so I lay down, and I'm just this dude's just like puking his brains out, just puking like, man. And so I didn't sleep well. I don't think so. The next day, I move into my room. I meet this pretty cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He looked like one of those dads off like a 90s sitcom, like a Married with Children type dude, but I felt like he was younger than me, but I don't know. He looked old. White dude though. He was in there, I think, for trying to overdose on perks and Zans. And so we kicking it, whatever, whatever. And so now it's my first like real day there. I go to the cafeteria, I get my food. And the cafeteria is also like the rec room too. There's people that's been there for a minute. They're playing cards, doing whatever. Excuse me. And they have like classes that you can go to. Like you don't have to go to, but they highly recommend it. And I remember by lunchtime, I told them, you know what? I want to check out of here. Nah, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's these people like they're like drug addicts, blah blah blah. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And so since I checked in there voluntarily, I could check myself out. And the doctor said, "How about you just give it like a day or 72 hours?" And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a day. Went to sleep. Next day came. I'm going. I'm encouraged to go to a class. I go to a class. They give you a notebook, like pencil, and it's just like, yo, just journal. Oh, let me go back. Going there messed up one of my oh, I had this dope Zeus hoodie and these like the joggers to match, and I wore that there. You had to take all your strings out. And I was like, yo, I can't do that. And they were like, if you don't do that, you we're gonna take it. I these were the only set of clothes I had. I had to have somebody bring me clothes like a couple days later, which means I stayed. But so I'm like, damn. So I take it out, whatever, whatever, and man, that shit was never the same. So anyway, they give us like a journals thing, and I say that to say this because this is just my part one of my psychiatric war story. Because I went twice, but I, I, um, I still have my journal. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote a lot in here, and my goal my goal was I wanted to like publish this for just I wanted to publish it and have it be like, you know, the process of a dad dealing with grief. And I wanted to like, do the spell check and stuff, but I wanted to publish it as it is, like as I wrote it, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna try to read something. It's kind of hard because it was so long ago. This was what 2016, and so like in it's in pencil. But I think this was my first night like in the other room. Not my first night, but like my first night that like my first full day, but it was nighttime. So last night I had a good dream. Then a nightmare. The nightmare, I was at a party in the woods. There was a lot of people. A fight broke out. I was stabbed through the neck and felt myself gasping for air. I died. I felt the pressure and I saw my sight fade. Huh. And then I put a little line, then I write, how could one expect to be treated with dignity if I don't treat myself as such? My roommate here at the hospital, he tried to overdose on Xannies and perks. So who am I to feel sorry for myself? We are all fighting an uphill and downhill battle. It is also up to us to see who wins. It's an inner battle. The one it's an inner battle that one it's the inner battle that one has to conquer. Sorry. Before moving on to the next chapter of life. I had to stop thinking I'm a celebrity, that life revolves around me, all around. Let's see. I wish we had all around peace in ourselves before trying to fix problems in the world. Look at me. Um. So this next one, I'm gonna read it. Then I'm gonna tell a story. I met a sweet older lady who beat cancer, but also has HIV. She is very caring, and listening to her stories about marriage abuse, drug abuse, it makes my problem seem small. But but are they really, or is it just my problems are made for me? Your problems are made for you. Was I write like a poet? Kinda. At this point, where do I run? What do I do to get myself into a stable mind frame? Will I find a medium? Will I ever be financially stable and not have to worry about bills and be happy? Man, went to another group. It was DBT. I forgot what the acronym stands for. We drew a house and labeled the different foundations. Never have I ever been this open in the class settings. I like it. I accept why I'm here and I'm gaining perspective on everything. I must stop my self pity and value me, my life. Interesting. So I have a lot more, but the one with the lady, I went to a group, and this was the first time I went to a group that was like where you sit in a circle, like how you see on movies, and you literally say, "Hi, my name is such and such. Hi, DJ, and I'm here for the grief of my daughter," like things like that. And I remember it was I was my mind state was foolish because when I went there, I felt like I checked myself in for a reason, but why am I here? Like this dude overdose on perks and Xannies. This dude overdosed on fucking aspirin and went blind for like 3 days. You know what I'm saying? This person like cut their wrists and whatever, whatever. This person is homeless and got abused and they're in drugs. And for a while I was just like, I ain't gotta be here. I ain't gotta be in these groups. Like I ain't down bad like that. So I sat in a group and I'm just like, like I passed, when they came to me, I was like, nah, I'm good. But they came back to me, but I passed. And there was this black older lady. She was probably like maybe late 50s, early 60s. And she was talking about how she beat cancer, and her husband got her addicted to drugs. And what was so crazy was he would pimp her out, he would beat her, probably rape her, I don't know. But he got her addicted to drugs by injecting a syringe of, I think it was crack or heroin, in her. Upon doing that, gave her HIV. She was a lady that was, even though going through all the abuse and stuff, heavily in the church. And once she got on drugs, obviously, she she fell out. Her dude left her, and I don't know if she said that he died or he winded up just kind of doing good in life. But he left her. She was homeless, and now she's a drug addict. But when I heard all that, that killed me. Like after the class, I went up to her and I was like, "Yo, you have a really, really beautiful soul." You know what I'm saying? That right there humbled me, because hearing her story and watching her, she was happy. She was happy to be alive. She was happy that she was trying to get some help. And her whole goal was that she wants to get better so she can get back in her older kids' life. You know what I'm saying? She can see her grandkids. So I really do hope that she really is doing well, and or whatever, I hope that she's good. But so they came to me, and I tell them my situation and all that. And then after, it's a shift change, because I went from not really rocking with nobody, not talking to nobody, to people kind of talking to me. And so this was my second full day. And now I'm like, yeah, I want to stay. I really think that I need to stay. You know, I forget. They put me on an antidepressant, and they gave me the sleeping pill, which never really worked. But once there was times, because it goes up and down about the emotion, and I started feeling really, really, really good about myself. I felt great. Now, Wednesday comes along. I don't want to say Wednesday, but it's just the third full day comes along with a third day. It comes along, and it's visiting day. Good old visiting day. Visiting day is going to be at such and such time. You know what I'm saying? So you can make your phone call just to set it up, but they're going to come in, and everybody can go to, like, you can just kind of go wherever you want. You can go to the private room, you can go to anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they trust everybody, because nobody can come in with anything, you know what I'm saying? There's still no strings, whatever, blase blase. Visiting day comes. I'm just seeing everybody crying. I'm seeing dudes like the kids coming, all that. I, and I'm just like, dang, because I didn't really tell people that, you know what I'm saying, that I was there, and I really wouldn't want people to come see me. Is how I was, my mind frame, and I think that, I don't know, like, I would feel embarrassed if people came in, like, just to come visit, but then also felt sad because during visiting hours, all the people that I rock with, they're not there. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta sit there. And the thing that I watched the most there was Lifetime movies and First 48. I mean, I love Lifetime movies. Like, I love a good Lifetime movie, but that and the First 48. So I'm just sitting there like a doofus, just watching it. And I felt very bad, but I wasn't feeling sorry for myself, because I was like, my nigga, this is your choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of half-ass wanted to come, and then you came, and then you said, "Yo, I don't want to be here," and then you end up staying, and you didn't. That's you, So, but I did like talk to like my mom and stuff, and so that was that. Let's see, what else? The I don't know, man. It was crazy. It was a good experience. Now the crazy thing is that I was like, oh shit, because I became cool with this young cat there, and let me see if 'cause I think I might have wrote the story, but I gotta find it. Ooh, I wrote um I just wrote like podcasts I did. Here's one. My roommate is having heavy withdrawals. My roommate's having withdrawals. I should say I should say a hard time. Or my roommate is having withdrawals, or I should say having a hard time kicking his addiction. I'll pray for him as I need prayer also. Feels good having a clean mind frame right now. But I met a cool cat, 22-year-old dude. He loves bars, in parentheses, Xannies. We talked about drugs and we talked about drugs. We talked about drugs and just simple shit while watching first 48, while watching 48 hours or the first 48. See what I did there? I wrote podcast Sunday, the day I lost faith, talking points, my suicide thoughts, trauma, trauma and dealing with it, my experience in Austin Lakes, my goals, the outcome, the struggle is fought till death. Let's see. Uh, oh, this one sucks. This one kind of hurts reading it. I have come to terms that I forgot how to rap. And I say that because I feel like I'm barely learning how to rap again now. That's To be real, that's the reason why J4 hasn't really dropped because I'm getting back at it, but like I wasn't nice in how I was. And there was a point where I couldn't think of nothing. Like I used to try to rap, couldn't think of nothing. Couldn't think of a rhyme scheme. Couldn't even think of random. And I'm the king of random. Couldn't think of nothing. I come to terms that I forgot how to rap, but I still have a lot of worth. I'm still somebody. People can influence a mind can wait, people can influence, a mind can encourage. Think about it. I can't forever blame people for my faults. I must take responsibilities for my choices. Respect everyone and their choices. Meditate, talk, stand up for who I am. This concludes my Friday. Good night. Smiley face. Uh Saturday the 27th. Sleep sucked. I realized once Sunday comes, I will enter the real world yet again. I don't know if I'm ready. Let's see. Oh man. Oh boy, I was going through it. Jesus Christ. But yeah, anyway, I I don't I'm gonna need to. I'm probably gonna rewrite all that because there's a lot more. Because I kept the journal going for a little bit after I got out the hospital. But fast forward to Friday. I mean Sunday. Sunday comes and they're like, "All right, you got to go." Not like that, but I couldn't stay because you only really just stay for a week unless it's just like bad, bad. And so they're like, "We can get you a cab. Where you want to go?" At this point, when all this happened too, I I got evicted. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a place to stay. But my friend, they were about to move into a house, and they were like, "Yo, you can stay in our like it's an empty duplex, but you can stay in it, for a couple of days until the lease is up." And I was like, "Bet." And so I remember they give me my voucher and go I go downstairs. I tried to wait it out a little bit. They're like, sir, you gotta go. And I was like, all right, you know. And the idiot of me, the dude that I was cool with, I was like, hey, bro, I got this podcast, man. Like, maybe you should come on it. He was like, I don't I try not to make friends with people that come here. And I was like, oh, because he's been there a couple of times. And I was like, that's fair. I felt like an idiot for even asking that. So I get my voucher, I go outside, and when I go outside, I was scared. I feel the real world, but I'm scared because it's the real world. I'm not in a place where you have people that are there to care for you, and you're with other people that are all alike trying to get better. It's back into the trenches, basically. I get in the cab, I go to the duplex, and I still had a job, so I had my work truck and I had my whip, which that shit was crazy, just moving both of them around a lot. But I go to the duplex and I started listening to inspirational speeches by Les Brown. And boy, I remember I just had my jacket and I had like a shirt and I just balled it up, put the shirt as a pillow, laid on the ground, and went to sleep. But yeah, that concludes part one of this. You know, there's a little bit in the middle before you get to part two, but I'll talk about my homeless adventures. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't homeless for that long. I was only homeless for a month, but it was still crazy and it still fucking sucked. But yo, thanks for watching, man. It was I had a good time. I'll read some more once I can make things very legible. I actually wasn't gonna podcast today, but I saw that book and I pulled it out and I started reading it. And when I started reading it, like it almost made me want to cry, like because I was kind of just reliving the situation, but I kind of just felt compelled to share it with y'all. I've never shared that with anybody. So Moke and friends, it was great. Moke at 3 a.m. somewhere at 3 a.m. The same thing.